Well, good afternoon, everyone. Meteorologist Michael Wilhite here with Southern Indiana Weather. Thanks for logging on to this latest video forecast update for the 23rd of December 2014. Sponsored today by Metal Magic in Washington. Give Chad a call at 698-8555 for all of your paintless dent repair needs, and be sure to tell them Southern Indiana Weather sent you. We usually get that from severe weather, and speaking of severe weather, folks, take a look at the paintless dent repair needs that may be going on down in the south. Just a massive storm system that's going on down here. Look at this. Yeah, I mean, this is hard to believe. Tornado warnings in red, severe thunderstorm warnings in yellow. I mean, this is just really quite astounding for 2 days before Christmas. Now, thankfully, severe weather not going to affect us, but we do have plenty of rain on the way, and you'll see that pretty obviously whenever I show you future radar here in a second. Plenty of clouds, low-level clouds around the area today as I just sort of zoom in on this, and you can see it's going to stay pretty much cloudy. There's a little bit of rain moving through the area. Temperature-wise, pretty mild out there right now. I mean, 52 degrees there in Jasper, 52 in Evansville here, just shy of the 3 p.m. Eastern Time hour. So mild temperatures around the area, pretty nice, but a big pattern change is coming, as we'll talk about here in the video. All right, let's go ahead and let's take a look at what we can expect over the this pattern that's going to evolve. There's that low pressure system. Really what we've got going on up here, you've got two of them. You got there's the low pressure system from this little clipper system up in here, and you've got another low pressure system that is now developed down to our south. As I put these into motion, watch what happens, and here we are by this evening, and you can see that rain start to funneling in. Basically what happens is this low pressure system that's up here to the north, watch what happens is it sort of just starts to marry, and all the energy from it gets merged into one parent low. And by 7 a.m. tomorrow morning, you can see that low right over us here on Indiana, a 996 low. That's very impressive. This is from the GFS, the high resolution GFS, the upgrade, and you can see that takes us right through us. Notice how the isobars, folks, very close together, so we can expect a pretty windy day tomorrow overall. But then watch this. By the time it starts to lift north and really starts to get going up there, notice how the precipitation just is sort of gone with it. So tomorrow by late afternoon, I think Southern Indiana, the way things are looking, probably not going to have that much precipitation to deal with. Maybe some wraparound snow showers, but I'm questioning whether we'll even get any snow showers at this point. I've downgraded it to just a possible status right now. Very questionable with this system. Accumulation-wise for us. Now that system then moves out. We start to get a little bit of a brief warm-up. Christmas Day, not looking too bad. Partly cloudy skies with temperatures in the low 40s. We'll warm up pretty nicely by the time Friday hits, and then we've got more rain to move in for the weekend. Here's the next question mark that we got going on. Notice by the time Saturday night comes, we've got some potential for some accumulating snow according to this parallel GFS model up here over portions of central Indiana, possibly extending down into here into southern Indiana. It's still rain for us at the moment, but it starts to transition in the pink here, maybe to an icy mix, and then eventually to some light accumulating snow showers here as well. So lots of questions as this next system moves through. This is not the only model that sees this, but to be fair, there are some other models that keep it completely all rain. The high-res GFS upgrade here indicating sort of a mix of some rain and snow, and then that gets gone. And then notice as we come into next Wednesday, maybe just a hint of some light snow showers. Nothing big with that. Now, if we go over to the Canadian model showing a very similar thing. Here we go, that low pressure from moving right over us. There's the accumulating snow where it's going to stay pretty much to the west of us. And then again, by the time the evening comes around, maybe just a few light snow showers. Nothing big to worry about. Probably no accumulation to work with. We warm up a little bit, and then there's that next big system. But notice how far north the Canadian model keeps the accumulating snow well to the north of Indiana. Keeps us pretty much as all rain, and maybe changes us briefly to some snow showers on the backside. Nothing to worry about according to the Canadian model. So lots of model differences on this. But notice how cold it's going to get. Notice these blue lines, how deep we are into these blue lines. This first blue line being the rain-snow changeover line, typically, well, we're down to the 516 decameter line through us. Folks, that's going to be just ridiculously cold air, as I'll show you in a minute if this is right. And then as that moves through, by the time New Year's Eve works around, we may have some light snow showers in the area. Could be some accumulating snow with this as well. We will keep that idea. And then take a look at this. That snow showers moves in, maybe dumps a little bit of at least some minor accumulations. And by the time we come to open on day, on New Year's Day, high pressure starts to build in, but look at this. We got the 510 decameter line going down through us, the 498 line. Well, if you're familiar with what this means at all, that's just barbarically cold air potentially headed our way. So the Canadian model is the first to sniff this out. I'll show you how cold it's going to get here in a second. It's just absolutely ridiculous. But bottom line, from what I want to point out to you here, folks, the pattern change is well underway. We enjoy this relatively mild air where we've got it now, because it's not always going to stay this mild by any means. Before we focus on those next systems, though, let me kind of zoom it in a little bit to the Christmas storm that we're at here. There's that severe weather to the south. Again, it stays to our south and just becomes sort of a rain event. Light showers overspread the area again tonight, potentially some heavy rain moving through the area tomorrow. A lot of differences on this. It starts to change according to this high-res NAM model here. There's some snow showers up to our north and maybe drop some accumulation to our north, but keeps us maybe just in the light snow shower or wintry mix category. And then that's pretty much about it. Temperature-wise, we'll look at in a second, but let me show you what the high-res NAM is doing with snow totals, and you can see well out of our area. The GFS, this is the GFS model. It's keeping us maybe 0.2 of an inch of accumulating snow area-wide. That's going to melt on contact. Don't even worry about that. You're going to see the accumulating snow. It's just like the high-res NAM saw off to our west. Notice how much of a difference, though, you've got in between these two models on what you could potentially see. If you throw the Euro into the mix, it's even worse. So the good model agreement is that it stays out of our area. The bad model agreement is for those who are looking to get the snow. The placement still isn't there, and we're a day away from it. Folks, the models are just performing terribly. I'm not sure I've ever seen them perform this terribly right up until the event. We've got to just, again, when the models are sniffing out a major pattern change, they always perform poorly. And we've got a major pattern change coming, but I've never seen them perform this poorly before. I'll be completely honest with you. Temperature-wise, now let's go ahead and get to this. Today, not bad. We're into the 50s. Tonight, it's going to hang nearly steady into the low to mid 40s across the area. And then tomorrow, take a look at this. We start off in the 40s, but we'll start to crash as we go throughout the day. Again, I think maybe a snow shower or two possible for some people, but not for everyone, before we bottom out into the low to mid 30s across the area on Christmas morning. And then after that, we warm up pretty nicely on Christmas. The high-res NAM wants to take us to about 39. I think I'm forecasting 41. I think this might be just a little bit too low with the added sunshine that we're going to get back in there. But still, not bad for Christmas, really, overall. Our average temperature is right around 40, so pretty much just an average kind of day. Now, the next system then this weekend, there's a lot of model variants on that. Again, accumulating snow could be possible with this system, but again, I don't trust the models right now as far as we can throw it. Again, I've already showed you the Canadian and the high-res GFS on there as well, and showing that the potential is there in one of them and maybe not there in another one. It keeps it too far north. The European model, I didn't show you that, but the European model, this is kind of combining these two models. Here's the snowfall accumulation through Christmas morning. Here's the snowfall accumulation through Monday morning, and you can see it does bring a swath of accumulating snow over the area. Lots of question marks with this, but how much do I trust it at this point? About this much, just enough to put a big question mark with it and call it that, because the truth of the matter is I don't trust it as far as I can throw it at this point. I'll say that there's some possibility for some accumulating snow on the table, and we'll leave it in that category for now until we get better model data. Let's talk about that pattern change that we're going to have coming on, folks. You can see it as we take a look at the 16-day temp spread in the GFS ensembles. Look how cold these temperatures are going to get. Stay mild here today, and by the way, this high of 55 is going to be about midnight tonight. We're going to be in the 40s tomorrow and then falling slowly. After that, we rebound after Christmas Day and maybe into the upper 40s again, so an above normal type of pattern before temperatures slowly start crashing down. And take a look at what this is. The GFS ensembles are sniffing out 21 for a high here on New Year's Day. I've actually got us, I think, around 28 or 29 in my forecast. I'm probably a little bit too high based on the latest model data right now. I may have to adjust that downward. Let me show you what the Canadian model is starting to sniff out. And by the way, you see just a very much below normal pattern. Normal this time of the year is very close to 39, 40 degrees, and we're not going to reach that. In fact, this may be even a little bit too warm right out in here as well. Go out to the Canadian model, and I want to show you what I'm talking about whenever I said it's going to bring us some barbarically cold air. Canadian model is sniffing out some ridiculously cold air. Look at these below zero temperatures just on the border of Canada, and watch how close those get to us as I put this into motion. Enjoy a little warm up briefly again while I say we've got it. But this Saturday, some rain according to the Canadian model, and temperatures in the low 50s around the area. But as I put the temperatures in motion here, take a look at this. By the time Sunday hits, the day later, we're only into the upper 30s to near 40 around the area. And then watch this, we dip down very cold so that we're into the teens by the time we reach on Monday morning. Notice how cold this air is that's moving towards us, and as I continue to put this into motion, we only reach highs in the mid 30s next Monday, and then boom, after that the bottom starts to thaw out of the thermometer. Only highs in the 20s by the time you get to Tuesday, with temperatures that night falling into the teens again. And you notice how cold, folks, how strongly these negatives are encroaching upon the area. As you get a little bit closer in time, you find that we only stay with temperatures into the 20s for highs. And look at this, by the time you wake up on New Year's morning, temperatures in the single digits to 10 degrees or so around the area. We only warm up, according to the Canadian model, into the low teens around the area. Some of us not even getting out of single digits, just a tiny bit to our north. And then that night, folks, take a look at this. By the time you get into January the 2nd that morning, take a look at this, folks. You've got temperatures into the low single digits around the area, below zero, very, very, very close to us. And look at the barbaric cold up here in the northern Great Plains states. Oh my goodness, folks. So how much can we trust this? Again, take it with a grain of salt, because the models have been performing very poor lately. But this gives you a hint why. The models, if you'll remember right, last January, if you go back and look at some of my videos and you hear me talking on my videos there, you'd hear me talking about the poor model performance last year at this time too. It's not been quite as bad as this has been, but folks, they were performing bad then too. Why? Because remember last January, about the 5th or so of January, when we had that big snowstorm and then we went below zero for about 3 days in a row, there was a big pattern change coming. The models started to sniff it out, and they had a rough time with it. Well, the models are having an even more rough time with it this go around. We got a big pattern change going on, and it's looking like the potential could be there for us to go below zero again as we open up January. So that would certainly explain why the models are performing so bad. So take everything this says with a grain of salt. Do I think we're going to see some ridiculously cold air come in? Yeah, I do. Can I guarantee you that's going to be here for January the 2nd like the models say? No, I can't. It may be the 5th or the 6th or even the 10th before it hits. The models are seeing things a little too early and sometimes a little too late, and they're still trying to adjust. Folks, that cold air is on the move. If you watched my video from a couple of times past, talked about that cross-polar flow that's going on right now with this Arctic oscillation going strongly negative. We got the blocking pattern for the negative NAO in the Atlantic, folks. That is allowing Siberian air to come over across the North Pole into Canada, and that negative Arctic oscillation sends that down into the eastern half of the United States. And folks, that's exactly what you're seeing, that cross-polar flow. This is not just Arctic air. What you're seeing here on this map, folks, this is North Pole type of air coming down towards us. So that's something, again, brutally, barbarically cold, however you want to word it. The potential is there, folks. We'll keep an eye on it in coming days. All right. Here's the way the 10-day stands right now, as we can see it at least. Go to southernindianaweather.com to get this. Click on your 10-day forecast here. You can also download our mobile app. Be sure to do that, folks. There's a lot of great tools there for you today. Low 40s tonight with rain, periods of rain moving in. Again, rain likely tomorrow, some heavy rain at times. Temperatures in the low 40s, slowly falling during the afternoon hours. And rain possibly may mix with some snow later in the afternoon hours. Maybe even some snow showers early into the overnight hours. But folks, I'm not expecting really any accumulations with this, and some areas may not even see the transition occur. It may just be drying up and out of our area before that could happen. Christmas Day looking nice. By the way, breezy conditions tomorrow, 15 to 20 mile per hour, winds gusting up to 30 at times. So if you do have to travel tomorrow, folks, it's going to be very windy. Only going up to about 41 for a high on Christmas Day. Not bad, a few clouds. Warmer for the weekend, though, but then that rain-snow mix starts to come in for Saturday night into Sunday. And again, there's a lot of questions about this, so right now, here it is. Chance of rain or snow showers because we don't really know what's going to go on yet. We'll fine-tune that forecast as it gets a little closer. There's the cold air starting to sink in. In fact, you can see what I've got for New Year's Eve and New Year's Day with temperatures in the upper 20s. According to the Canadian model I just showed you, I could be way wrong on this, and I may need to go a whole lot colder for that. But we'll see. We'll trend that over the coming days. All right. That's where we stand right now, folks. I'll have another one of these videos out for you. Probably after Christmas is over, I might have a quick video update for you tomorrow. But again, if you're traveling tomorrow, probably just some wind and rain to deal with. I'm not expecting around here, at least, anything in the way of snow accumulation. Nothing more than a dusting by any means, and probably not even that. All right, folks, I'm meteorologist Michael Wilhite for Southern Indiana Weather. Thanks for watching our long-range update. We'll see you next time.